Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to Remember 11, The Age of Infinity. Now, before I get started, I want to make one little quick note. Now, said kind of in the last episode, not the last episode, but the first episode, that started back, that I wasn't completely feeling great, and that's kind of why I quit for a while. Don't want to quit. I don't want to get out of this habit again. I am, especially this right here, Found the Corpses, Slaughtered. Whoa, what? The fact that he found out Utsumi seems to be some up to something anyway. Definitely does not want me to make me want to lose interest in this again. So, one of the reasons why I didn't do the face cam for a while was because I don't want to go dead face on you guys when I'm doing this with the webcam on. Yeah, I found the corpse of the slaughtered Tory. So yeah, just gonna say I'm gonna, and if I'm not feeling wonderful, I'm gonna do these anyway. So I do hope I won't ever go dead face on you guys too bad. I'm doing these videos as an outlet for myself. I hope to really entertain folks with them. I hope people do enjoy the videos and the games and stuff. But they are an outlet for myself as well, a hobby. I wear myself out if I keep waving my arms around there. So yeah, just want to get that out there. Tonight's one of those nights, so yeah. We found the corpse apparently. Yeah, it's really pissing me off because sometimes when I move the mouse into it, like to, not do a drum roll. Sometimes it rolls over to the next page, so I do that sometimes, and so I wind up saving on the next page between episodes. So I do apologize for that as well. Apparently, we lost in the last one. I was thinking we might not, but this sounds like a loss. Oh. Her ribs had been torn right through her flesh, and her heart neatly gouged out. Well, if you're going to slaughter somebody so gorily, since they're being a bit of a neat freak, let's just delicately gouge out her heart. Beside her lay the corpse of Utsumi. She'd slit her wrist, taking her own life. Oh, okay. Palm of her hand, she grasped the heart, so crushed that all semblance of its original form had been lost. It was a Tori's heart. And one finger of her other hand, she'd written something on the floor in her blood. Just a single line. Where is self? Is this when the selfie was invented? Are we experiencing the invention of the selfie? I'm not sure if that joke even makes any sense. He sat in that sea of blood, muttering to himself like a madman. I have no idea what happened after that. I think several more transfers occurred, but that didn't matter anymore. The mercy of something greater than I also just wandered aimlessly through an empty world. And what happened to the 4 people at the shelter cabin after that? From the newspaper dated July 4th, 2011, the headline, 3 decomposed male and female corpses found at Mount Akakura had disappeared. Instead, it said that their bodies were discovered on January 17th, along those with the other passengers. Wait, what? So they didn't come back alive. It means that 3 of them died on January 11th. Wonder if I've just been dreaming this whole time, a nightmare without end. Now I'm in a white room. I'm assuming we lost. A pure white room without a single stain on its walls. In one wall, there's a small window with bars across it. Outside, I can see cherry blossoms as they flutter down and dance on the wind. An old man is walking down the road. Slowly, he totters by. From the other direction comes a boy walking a dog. He shouts cheerfully as he runs, bathed in the sunlight filtering through the trees. I don't want to think of anymore. Just gazing through the window at the world enclosed by this little square is enough for me. The cherry blossoms, the old man, the dog, and the boy. surrendered myself to the passage of time, content to be a spectator. Without emotions nor self, with only the single viewpoint, observing the transient world. Viewpoint. A point. With neither volume nor mass. I was a hollow existence. Suddenly I heard a voice from the other side of the door. Inomoto-san. Inomoto Nayo-san. It's time for your medicine. What? So did he... Oh, what was that? I missed it. Oops. I'm assuming it just said, you made the wrong choices, you dumbass. That's what I'm assuming it said. Okay. What was the end there? Was that him actually as an old guy who went insane or something? Maybe went insane and time passed. Let's see what that... Oh, not an extra voice. Wait, how do I back out? Escape. Okay. Utsumi's plan's execution end. Okay, I guess that's what we saw. Okay. Okay, good. The mouse wheel does it. I kind of forgotten what the skippy button was. Oh, oops. How do I make the skippy thing go away? Go away, skippy thing! Go away! Oh crap, what's the other thing? Can't remember what the other thing was. I think it'll go away though, actually. I answered.
なぜ？あなたはこの時間に必ず姿を見せる。何が言いたいのかよくわからないんだけど。
I need to remember to go and look at the keys again to see what other buttons do the skippy thingy. The skippy thingy, like red versus blue, very similar to the chippy thingy. When she turned around, she held two glasses in her hands.
とにかく座ったら。
As urged, I pulled out a chair. She made her way over to the fridge and opened the door. Don't drink what she's offering. She took out a bottom. She got a bottom? What? She took out her bottom. I didn't think this was that type of game. She took out a bottle of mineral water from inside.
喉が渇いたなんて冷蔵庫はあなたの部屋にもあるしミネラルウォーターもその中に保存されてるはずだ喉が渇いただけならわざわざキッチンにまで足を運ぶ必要はない
A thin smile formed on her face as I confronted her.
切らしちゃってたのよもう残ってなかったのだからここにそんなことよりあなたも飲まない
She put the two glasses down on the table and poured water to each. She placed one of the glasses in front of me. Okay, I know it'll knock me out. I wonder if it'll just loop back to the same ending we just got. Let's find out. Drink it all in one go. Yeah, I think it's looping. Yeah, it'd be looping. Oh, stop. Okay, he can just mouse up. Oh, now I can find out what this was gonna say. And circulates through an instant. It is an infinity loop. Infinity, not infinity. I'm not sure what infinity is, but it ain't what that is. Okay, let's go back to this, shall we? I guess I can save over Awakening now, since that won't be a thing. Oh, wait, we have to go back to this. Should have saved it, actually, since I knew what would happen. I came to watch over you. Refused. Her behavior was way too suspicious. It was possible that she drugged the water while her back was turned. She did. Good instincts, Satoru. That's what I thought. I pushed the glass away. She furrowed her brow and tilted her head slightly.
Ah, 悪いけど。
そう。
With that soft whisper, she walked over to me, narrowing the distance between us. She stood in front of me, gripping her own glass tightly in both hands. She stared at the transparent liquid inside. We didn't move. Neither she nor I stirred. An air and ease enveloped us. I can understand that. Beyond the darkness that separated us, I could barely hear the faint sound of her breathing. Standing there wordlessly in the dark, she resembled nothing so much as a malicious spirit that had wandered free of its earthly body. I couldn't feel the slightest warmth from her. And at last, without once raising a glass to her lips, she put it back down on the table.
どうして？
どうしてだと思う？
I looked at her face. She stood over me, looking down at me as I sat at the table.
何か都合の悪いものが入って。
違うわ。
じゃあなぜ？
私が飲みたかったのは水こんなものを飲んでも私の渇きは癒えないのよ。
The blood of her enemies? Is that what will quench your thirst? Whispered words. Couldn't read her eyes, nor her lips. Her eye sockets were veiled in shadow, looking blank and hollow as though her eyes had dropped out, leaving only empty cavities.
ねえ、ユキド君。
She extended a thin finger toward the glass. She traced this out around, then dipped her fingers into the liquid. She slowly tipped it toward me until it fell over. The water began to spill out. It spread across the table as if crawling. I only reached the edge and ran off, dripping to the floor in a thin stream. Watched all this in silence. I was captivated by the falling drops of water. And in that instant, bonk! Ooh, distraction! Bonk! Oh, exactly, it seems. Oh, stabbed. Oh, that's... A stab is a different thing than a bonk. They both can have the same result. But a bonk tends to allow more survivability than a stab, especially at the back of your neck. There's a piercing pain that momentarily dyed my vision white. A dazzling light flashed before me, then shattered into pieces. Oh, unless it's like a needle. Ah. A needle, yeah. She used that on her. She used it on her. Hattori. That's the easiest word to... Utsumi, Satoru, Kokoro. Hattori. That's the easiest of all the names to say in this game. How could I not get that one out? However, the scene my eyes beheld was slightly different from the one I just left. My line of sight was tilted at a right angle. I could feel the hard floor against my cheek. I had fallen face down onto the ground. I tried to pick myself up, but couldn't put any power into my arms or legs. It was still physically possible for me to move, but I couldn't remember how. But it just happened. My consciousness was hazy, and I couldn't string my thoughts together. I wanted to look around me, but my neck wouldn't move the way I commanded it, so there was nothing I could do. All I could do was move my eyeballs, which I darted around frantically. I looked up and saw Utsumi standing stock still beside me. Her right hand was clutching an object that I remembered seeing before. An object shaped like a gun. An injection gun, the same one that she shot Hattori with.
誰にも邪魔なんてさせない。この計画は。
Plan? My prediction had hit the mark. This woman came to Sophia to kill Hattori, no Inabushi. I wanted to say something, but I couldn't get my voice to leave my throat. I was careless. Why did I ignore the signs? I felt disgusted at myself for letting my guard down for even a second. What was the point of even coming here to watch over her?
しばらく動けなくなるだけだから。
Her voice was getting more and more distant. Little by little, my consciousness began to
さ
fade.
ようならユキドッ
With those parting words, she disappeared from view. I couldn't just let her go like this. I couldn't let her kill Hattori. The grand struggle against the demon lurking inside me had now begun. I struggled frantically, trying to grasp hold of my dimming consciousness. First I tried focusing all my nerves into my fingertips. I was barely able to move my pinky. Quickly, so as not to forget the sensation, fired off commands to my ring, middle, and index fingers. You're doing the trick that the lady from Kill Bill did, where she was like, move my right toe, move my right toe. Something like that, didn't she? It's been a long time since I've seen that movie. Seems like there was a scene like that, though, wasn't there? Seems like it. Using this method like a magic spell, I turned my entire body back on, little by little. He turned himself on. Let's not go by that. Let's not talk about that. I tirelessly continued my work. Eventually, I found myself able to move my hands up to my palms. Then the feeling returned to my arms, and gradually I regained control of my feet. Although that said, I was still unable to lift my body. I crawled along the floor, chasing after Utsumi. The word leaked out before I could think. My vocal cords seemed to be showing signs of recovery. She probably shot me with a powerful tranquilizer. In spite of that, why could I still move like this? It could be that this specific type of tranquilizer had already been administered to me several times in the past. So my resistance to the drug was already quite high. Possible. What, is he a secret agent or something? Is he a secret agent? He's been like mind wiped, like Men in Black a few times. It's a wonder that I somehow managed to reach the living area. Utsumi was standing at the door to Hattori's room. Something glinted in her right hand. I stood up, leaning unsteadily against the wall. One step at a time, I began to approach her. She hadn't noticed me yet. I moved forward with the utmost care, trying not to make a sound. If I lose focus even for a second, I'll fall over. My vision warped and swirled dizzily. The images reflected in my eyes were vague and hazy, so I wasn't sure if I was even heading in the right direction. Lying on the feel of the wall beneath my fingers, I continued through the darkness. Finally, I drew right up behind Utsumi. Her hand was on the doorknob. Slowly, she began to turn it. Right after that, faster than the eye could see, I grabbed her wrist. Never releasing my hold, I covered her body with mine, as though in an embrace. The momentum carried me to the floor, bringing her down along with me, and we rolled across the floor in a tangle. Hadn't planned on it, but I ended up pinning her down. She lying face up on the floor, and I on top of her. She struggled below me, all my body weight pressing down against her. In her right hand was a horribly sharp knife, a kitchen knife. She probably pulled it out of the cupboard after I fell over in the dining area. There was one part where Kokoro had zapped hit back to Sophia and had her arm bleeding at one point. I wonder if this might be it. She said something that there was she says a presence or a shadow. I wonder. You know, this does explain that one time that she zaps back to Sophia and Utsumi is having words with, seeming to be very angry with Satoru. If that was after this. I do remember that scene. Yeah, I would explain that too. Okay. Oops, that shift, not enter. Held her tightly by her wrists, refusing to let go. My body felt like an old tin toy with its parts rusted together, but the strength of my hands at least never wavered.
どいて離して何するのよ
いや、離さない。俺の意識がここにあるうちは誰も殺させたりなんか
My joints creaking, I pulled away from her. Pinning her wrist with my left hand, I pulled the knife from her with her. I pulled the knife from her with my right. Can't talk. Then I hurled it away into the living area. Just as Uni was stepping in the frame. That would be a horrible ending. The dry sound, the kitchen knife disappeared into the darkness. Maybe it was because of the relief I felt, but as soon as I heard that noise, I was attacked by an overwhelming sense of exhaustion. I rolled powerlessly to the floor beside her. She didn't allow me a moment of rest. She suddenly sprang onto me, grabbed me by the torso, and pulled me violently to my feet.
どうして邪魔するのよ。あなたには関係ないことじゃない。なのになんで
She shook me back and forth. Didn't have enough strength left to fight back. I went limp, my head lolling. That motion on my shoulders like a doll's.
どうしてみんな分かってくれないの。あの女は殺されても当然の人間なのよ。
I do the copyright infringement. I do not support copyright infringement. That girl is a really good killer. There's a movie called Natural Born Killer. That's a lame joke anyway. Never seen Natural Born Killer. Pretty sure there's a movie called that.
人間なんかじゃないわ。あいつは悪魔よ。彼女をこのまま生かしておいたらもっと犠牲者が出るに決まってる。なのになんでみんな彼女のことをかばおうとするの。どうしてあいつは今でもこんなところでのうのうと生きていられるのよ。純一はあの子はあんなひどい殺され方をしたっていうのに私は絶対許さない殺してやるわ必ず。
Sumi had finally revealed her true nature. Her calm face had been torn away, replaced with that of a demon. Her long silver hair was disheveled, her pupils abnormally wide. A pattern of hives had begun to mar her brown skin. Livid veins spread cracks across her face, shrouding it until she looked no different than a corpse. The only things visible there were the warped features of a cruel, murderous monster, all the human blood frozen and immobile in her veins. As if Utsumi had summoned the demon to claim authority, but found herself possessed instead. The way she looked, you could almost believe she was playing the part of a villain in some tragic melodrama, but the burst aura she now emanated was no different from that of a mental patient capable of flying into a killing rage at any moment. The old "I became the thing I was trying to destroy" cliche. Not really, but kinda. A hatred and a grudge this strong could almost certainly be considered an illness to which, over time, an ordinary human being might succumb. And if that was true, Utsumi was most likely attempting to expel the sickness from her body by killing Hattori. Sounds a little contagious. How was that any different from what Hattori had done during the Awazumi incident? There wasn't even a fragment of anything like a great ideal here. Could even say she was driven only by the mad brutality festering inside her. I pitied her. Her condition didn't inspire even the slightest feeling of anger or hatred within me, only a deep, deep sadness. Jesting. Okay. Well, that happened. We saw another bad ending. We checked off another one. So we got more done there. Utsumi, yeah, she definitely knows about all that, and she was, yeah, definitely trying to kill Hattori. Obviously, I don't know why I'm stating that. Proof. Um. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I still don't know a lot of the story though, to be honest. Because there's that one guy who showed up at the showed up dead at that one part of it. There at Sphere. So I guess we're gonna have to maybe see that through his perspective. That's still a bit of a mystery too. There's still a lot of mystery left in this game, obviously. I think I'm maybe 50% done with the game, I really don't know. Anyway, I do sincerely hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell there.